I'm Ree, and you're tuned into Written Articles on Camera.
Alikeju.
What school did you go to, and what degree did you obtain?
I went to SUNY Oswego and I got my computer science degree.
Are you currently in your career path right now?
Yes.
Do you do any extracurricular activities outside of your career path?
No, not right now. Well, I'm trying to learn how to braid. So I got a little mannequin.
Are you planning on going back to school, and if so, what degrees are you trying to obtain?
I think I'm done.
But where do you work? I can ask that.
I work at Snapchat.
What are your responsibilities at your job?
So right now, I'm doing a rotational program. So right now I rotated on a team where I'm doing front-end work. So that means that I'm responsible for what the user sees in, it's called the AV console. So that's where all the data scientists and product managers look to see certain data points. So I'm responsible for that dashboard, at least my team is. So yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Hopefully I'm either a manager, and I'm also looking into product management, so either one, engineering manager or product manager.
What was your journey into getting into your career?
Okay, so this is kind of a long story. So I first got into it in high school when they had this program called Bridges to Computing. So it was at Brooklyn College, and I got really interested in it because they were talking about different types of hackers. And at the time, I really wanted to be a detective or a lawyer, but that just didn't, in the long run when I researched it, I didn't really think it was for me. So when I learned about white hat hacking, I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. So that's a hacker that counteracts the bad hackers. So I went to school, I majored in computer science, and when I was there, I joined the Women in Computing Club at my school, and I went to a hackathon. So I was like, oh, I'm trying to be a hacker, and I go to the hackathon, and it was nothing like that. It was just you make hacks to fix certain world problems, for instance, gender issue in tech, so you could create an app that combats that. So I got into software engineering because of the hackathon, because we're trying to make an Android app, but that didn't happen. We're too inexperienced. So during my winter break, I was like, okay, let me learn how to use this, because I downloaded the software during the hackathon, and I told myself I'll learn how to use this. So winter break, I made a game, and I really liked it. So I found a program that taught how to do iOS development over the summer. So I did that, I really liked it. And so I decided, you know what, I'm trying to be a software engineer. So I stuck to that.
How is your family and your friends supporting you?
It's really good. So when I was in college, my mom, she majored in chemistry when she was in college, and she was telling me, listen, it was so hard. And I looked at my mom as someone if she could do it, then so can I. So it was really good. And I would say my friends were really supportive too. They understood when I couldn't go to certain things.
What did you want to be when you were younger?
I wanted to be a lawyer for the longest time. I wanted to, be a lawyer.
What made you stop writing?
Right.
Oh, okay. So when I was researching the field, I was looking at this website called myfuture.com, and it was listing out the pros and the cons. And one of it was that every single day at work, it's pretty much like a fight, you have issues with your opposing lawyer. Sometimes a judge might not like you. And I'm a very sensitive person. I don't like to argue with people like that. It gets to me personally. So if my job is to just argue with people every single day, I have issues with this person, that person, that's literally my job, I would be so stressed out. I wouldn't be happy. So I said, you know what? I need to switch my whole career path.
What are the pros and the cons of your current career path?
So the pros is that you're always learning. You're not doing the same thing over and over again. I know sometimes people feel like there's no growth in certain careers, you're just literally doing the same thing, but with software engineering, and especially in the rotation that I'm doing right now, front-end engineering changes every like couple of years. So you're definitely going to be learning something new. And also the pay is really well. You can be financially stable with software engineering. Some cons that I can think of is it's really hard. Like if you lose your patience easily, it's not for you. So yeah, there's certain times like something can be so simple and you're looking for the solution and you can't find it for hours. So yeah. And what else? What other cons can I think of? Yeah, I mean it's difficult. And even to getting the job that I have now, after college, I still feel like I didn't learn anything. So when I was taking the software engineering assessments, to even get into a job, you have to take like many coding assessments, many coding interviews. So I felt like right out of college, I couldn't really do them. So when I interviewed for the role that I have now, I was prepping for 5 months, just coding question after coding question after coding question. And finally, I felt like, I could perform well. Like for the interview, for the job I have now, the last round was like a 5-hour coding session.
Wow.
So it's pretty intense. So if you're trying to get into that field, just have that in mind.
What is your advice to anyone who wants to be in software engineering?
Be curious. That's what really helped me. Like in college, I was like, ooh, what's a hackathon? I didn't know anything, So I was really curious. I was like, how do I learn how to use this Android Studio application on my laptop? And I learned that. I found out, I saw a program for iOS development, and I was like, how do I make an iOS app? So people kind of think that in order to get into computer science or software engineering, you have to be smart. That's not true. You just have to be curious and want to learn. Because I've seen, in my college career, people that I feel like had great potential, were naturals at coding, but they didn't want to work hard and they weren't really curious. And I think my curiosity is what really got me far.